Good morning. It's Wednesday, February 19th, and talks have been going on discussing ending the Ukraine war. And those talks have been going on without any representative from the Ukraine sitting down. These talks have been taking place between the United States and Russia and several other foreign countries that have an interest there, like Saudi Arabia. In any event, it's not a strange situation when you consider that Donald Trump is in the middle of this and that Donald Trump is a lover of Vladimir Putin. So we have senior U.S. officials and senior Russian officials sitting for talks in the Saudi Arabian capital of Riyadh that began on Tuesday. And these are high-stakes negotiations aiming at the end of the war in Ukraine. And these talks were initiated because President Trump and Russian leader Vladimir Putin had a telephone call in which the two leaders agreed to work together towards a negotiated end to the war. And Secretary of State Marco Rubio is heading the U.S. delegation along with Moscow's top diplomat, Sergei Lavrov. The U.S. team includes a national advisor like Mike Waltz and notably White House Special Envoy Steve Witkoff. Now, Witkoff met with Russian officials last week to negotiate a prisoner exchange that freed the American school teacher Mark Fogel. Now, this sudden meeting between Russia and the U.S. has stunned U.S. allies in Europe and the Ukraine, with both of those regions afraid of being sidelined in talks that determine the collective future of that area of the world. None of those countries were invited to participate in the talks in Saudi Arabia. And Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky vowed that Kiev would not recognize any agreements made in its absence. So these talks were embraced by the Kremlin because this opens a new era for dialogue with countries like the U.S. From now on, we will talk about peace, not war, the Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said in an interview that was on the air on Sunday. And in a sign of the new spirit of cooperation, the Kremlin confirmed Monday it had approved the unilateral release of an American caught with a small amount of cannabis in his luggage. So when Biden was president, several Americans were caught with drugs and had similar charges. And you all remember the female basketball star, Brittany Griner, who spent time in jail in Russia because they were charged with some drugs or some crazy stuff. So is this the beginning of the end of the war? Lavrov said his job was to listen to the American proposals and report back to the Kremlin. And the State Department spokesperson, Tammy Bruce, similarly said the U.S. was there to determine how serious Moscow was about finding a negotiated settlement. But it was clear from what Lavrov said that he would reject any notion of returning the land annexed by Russia back to Ukraine. So if Russia is in these talks, they are not serious if they are not considering giving back all of the Ukrainian territory. They want territorial concession. And what does Russia want with that land? Well, they want to build once again that big nation that they had before. They want the ethnic Russians who live there to remain Russians, because they are claiming that ethnic Russians have been molested, beaten up by Ukrainian troops. But nobody has been able to verify that information. So U.S. negotiators have complicated issues to deal with, because the statements coming out of the White House are not very clear. President Trump has publicly said any peace rested on Ukraine ending its ambitions to be a member of NATO. And also, Trump said they must relinquish territory seized by Moscow. So that, in essence, is agreeing to two major points that the Russians are demanding. Trump wants to end the war. That's the only thing which Trump is concerned about. He's concerned about his image. He wants to look like the strong guy. He doesn't want to look like a loser. So he is willing to give the store away to Russia. If this was a truly solid peace negotiation, then Russia would be prepared to relinquish the territory that it has taken over from Ukraine. And Ukraine would give back the territory that it has taken over, and everybody would go back to sort of living in the same shape that they were before. And maybe Ukraine could become a member of NATO. Wouldn't that be sensible? Does somebody have to come out of this war as a winner? Of course. Everybody wants to be a winner, but sometimes that is not available. It is not possible. So I think that Trump's interference in this war is strictly something because of his love of Putin, and not because he really wants to do justice for the Ukrainian people. In fact, Putin has extended an invitation for Trump to visit Moscow in the near future, because speculation is that Trump could join Putin on Red Square in May, when Russia commemorates the 80th anniversary of its victory in another world war, World War II. So I'm not sure that our president is going about this peace negotiation in a manner that is beneficial, evenly beneficial to both sides. So have a great day this morning. Don't think too hard about this situation. Take care. Bye.